particular letter. So what is irrational number means? It is not of the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. So exactly, if you put not, it will become a irrational number. Okay, give an example of irrational number. I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 examples I have given for rational. Now can you give example for irrational number? Huh? Root 2, good. Root 2. What is the value of root 2? Approximately 1.414, right? If it is 1.414, we can bring back to p by q form by multiplying 1000, isn't it? Or just 1414 divided by 1000 will be in the p by q form. But I have written only 3 decimal places. How to find the square root? You have a method you studied in 8th standard. Square root means it is 1.414529. So this is repeated infinitely, right? Without ending. So therefore, one more definition for irrational number is non-repeated and non-terminating. Okay, non-repeating and non-terminating. Non-repeating and non-terminating is an example of irrational number. So whatever there inside the square root are examples of irrational number. Square root of 3. Square root of 3 is approximately 1.732, and square root of 5, square root of 6, etc. What about square root of 2.1? What is square root of 2.11? All are irrational number. Irrational number. We cannot write it in the form of v by q. That number is called an irrational number. Okay. And one more example without the square root is 1 by 0, 2 by 0, minus 5 by 0. Because it is not equal to 0, if we put 0 in the denominator, this is a trivial irrational number. Trivial irrational number. So this example, square root of something is called a rational number only, and other forms are 1 by 0, 2 by 0, etc. Even 1.3 by 0 also. Now, other than this, we have one more irrational number, what is called root pi or pi. What is the value of pi? 3.14 is approximate value. 22 by 7 is also approximate value. Right? So pi is a irrational number. Pi is a irrational. So these are all examples of a rational, and these are all examples of a irrational. So these two are different. So these two are different and these two are different. So I want to end this session by what is the least set is natural number. Natural number is a subset of a whole number. Whole number is a subset of integers. Integer is a subset of a rational number, and rational number is a subset of a real number. So what is real number? Real number is have a rational union of rational and irrational. So real number is a union of rational and irrational number. Rational number is p by q form. Irrational number is non-repeating, non-terminating. And one more number we have bigger than this is our superset is what? Complex number. Complex number also you studied in +2, I think 3rd chapter. What is complex number? It is of the form a plus ib. It is of the form a plus ib, where a and b are real numbers. A and b are real numbers. Okay. So this is the smallest system, and it goes in the hierarchy order. So with this background, I want to end the number system. Okay. Now come to here. So the examples are rational numbers. Irrational numbers cannot be written as p by q. Root 2, pi, and includes both rational and irrational numbers as real numbers, and complex numbers, it is of the form a plus ib, So the complex number is of the form a plus ib, where a comma b belongs to R. So this is the definition of a complex number. Okay. Now, right. Next, sets and their operation. Set is a collection of well-defined objects. You have been studying from the 6th standard onwards. And empty set is nothing. Empty set can be written as either this one or this one. Finite set means finite number of elements. Infinite set means infinite number of elements. Equal sets, equal and equivalent sets. That two are different. Equal set means equal number of elements also same. No, elements also same. And equivalent set is number of elements same, but I want this. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? So you should know how to bring back the rational form if it is repeated. If it is repeated, whenever it is repeated, definitely we can bring back to the P by Q form. Okay. Equal set, subset I have already written. Power set, set of all subsets of a set of all subsets of a set. Suppose if A set has two elements A, B. Okay, what is the power set of A? What is the power set of A? Power set of A is set of all subsets of A. So A, B, AB and empty. BA is equivalent to AB only. Okay, in this BA, AB are both are same. Therefore, how many number of elements? 4 elements. So number of elements 4. Suppose if A has 3 elements, A, B, C, what is the number of elements? 9. All studied in 7th or 8th standard? 8. So this is 2 power 2 and this is 2 power 3. If A has 4 elements, it is 16. 2 power 4. If A has n elements, n elements, it is 2 power n. So these are all the concepts you studied from 7th standard or 8th standard onwards. And universal set is a set which is considered to be a consideration, and union, intersection, difference, complement, etc. You know, right? Example, universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A is 2, 3, A dash is 1, 4, 5. Then we can find A dash, even suppose A union U and A union U, the whole dash, etc. can be found out. Okay, so these are all simple things. Next is relations and functions. The relations and functions are very important concept in the qualifier round. Not only for qualifier. See, if you have a open mind and if you have a relaxed and if you understood in the class itself, it will be more useful for not only for this qualifier. This will be useful for your all competitive examinations as well as higher studies. And you should keep in mind that we are studying not only for qualifier, this will be more useful for your life. You can teach your brother, sisters, neighbors, friends. Okay, if you are very strong background. So concept is relations and functions. Before going to the relations and functions, first let us define Cartesian product. Last row, can you able to see Cartesian product? So Cartesian product is A cross B, where A has 1, 2, 3 and B has 2 elements 4, 5. Then what is the Cartesian elements? One element from A, that is 1, and one element from B. Okay, and 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5. So this is Cartesian product. Actually what we want to study? We want to study the relations and functions. But we have not yet come across relations now. First we studied only is Cartesian product. Now the relation. What is relation? Relation could be the subset of this. Apo, first concept in the beginning we studied N is a subset of W, W is a subset of R, R is a subset of, sorry, N is a subset of W, W is a subset of Z, Z is a subset of Q, Q is a subset of R, and R is a subset of C. Similarly here, Cartesian product, okay, Cartesian product. Next relation, relation is a subset. That means it is a superset, okay. So relation, I am writing in the reverse, right. Upper relation is a subset of Cartesian product. So here how many numbers, how many elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements, because 3 into 2, 6 elements. 3 into 2, 6 elements. Here relation may, first they have taken 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. It is a relation. Relation is a subset. Instead of taking 1, 4, I can take 1, 5 also. 1, 5. So any subset can be from Cartesian. The next concept is type of relations. Now we are going to study in detail about the relations. What are the relations? Reflexive relation. First is reflexive relation. What is it? Yanaka. Okay, sir, I'll have come. Right. Now, Cartesian product, you know the definition. Okay. And relation is a subset of a Cartesian product. Now we are going to study the 3 properties of relations, 4 properties. Reflexive relation. Reflexive relation now, if A comma A belongs to R, R means relation. R means relation. If A comma A belongs to R for every A in the set, that is a reflexive. Example 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Now, whenever we study a new concept, we should give an example of relation and not an example of a relation. So let us take a very simple and useful example. R equal to A equal to A, B, C, okay, and B equal to 1, 2. So A cross B, you know, right? I have A cross B is what? A cross B is A comma 1, A comma 2, B comma 1, B comma 2, C comma 1, C comma 2. And I have taken the relation A2 I am taking, okay, B2 taking, and C1. Right? I have taken only 3 from the Cartesian product. Is it reflexive? Is it reflexive? Is R reflexive? Yes or no? No, because A comma A should be there, isn't it? A comma A should be there. So here A comma A means a relation like A comma A is not there. And if you want to have some extra, just to make it, this is also 1, 2, 3, so it will be very nice. Okay, so is it a reflexive or? It is not a reflexive. Now what is symmetry? If A comma B is there, then B comma A also belongs to there. And transitive, A comma B belongs to the relation and B comma C belongs to the relation, then A comma C also belongs to the relation. If all the 3 properties are satisfied, then it is called the equivalence relation, and this concept we already studied in +1 or +2. Okay. Now, based on this, we will have a problem. Based on this, we will have a problem. I want to make reflexive. So what shall I take R? Make it R1. Okay. R1 is not reflexive. I want to take reflexive. What changes you have to make? A comma A I have to take. A comma A I have to take. So A comma A I have to take now. I have to change either this to AB or this to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that A comma A will be there. Okay. Is it second property is symmetry. Symmetry means we have to take A comma B is there, na? B comma also there. So for that we will have one more problem. After that we will see. Okay, now let us go for the functions now. So we will have an example of these three after taking the functions. So what is function? First we studied a Cartesian product. From the Cartesian product we studied relation. From the relation it is a function. Function is a special relation. Which is a bigger one? Bigger one is a Cartesian. Next subset, relation. Next, function. Okay. Each input has exactly one input. This definition you never studied before. Where each input has exactly input. What is the definition you studied in the function? What is the definition of function? You studied in 10th standard, 11th standard, plus 1. What is the definition of function? Every tell me the function definition. So called this as A domain, okay, and codomain. So what is the definition you studied? Function. Tell me the definition. All the elements of A domain is uniquely associated in B. Okay, or every element of A is uniquely associated in B. This is the definition we studied in previously. Now the definition is slightly changed. Each input has exactly one output. Now for that, call it as A, B, C, X, Y, Z, X, Y. Is it a function? Is it a function?
Yes.
It is not a function. Why? Every element of A is unique. C is not associated. C does not have an image. C is not related. C is not associated. Therefore, this is not a function. Okay. Every element of A is uniquely associated. Now, is it a function?
Yes.
Yes. You would have. Now, I slightly change this to. Is it a function? Yes, because every element of A is uniquely, that means if you give A, what is the output? X. If you give B, what is the output? Y. If you give C, what is the output? Therefore, it is function. Right? It is a function. Now, there are f of x is one-to-one function. One-to-one function means, suppose if C is related to Z instead of Y, then it is a one-one function. So one-one function means each input has exactly unique output. Unique output. Right? Unique output. How many elements in A? 3. How many elements in B? 4 elements. Is it a 1-1? Yes, 1-1. Because what is the definition of 1-1? Each element is uniquely associated in B. How to prove 1-1? If they ask you to prove 1-1, what formula you have to make? F of right. So 1-1 function ke f of x1 equal to implies. So this is a definition, or this is a formula you have to use for finding the 1-1 function. We have one more. What is the one more? Another. x1 is implies both are the definition of 1-1. But For proving, we have to take only the first one. For proving, we have to take only the first one. But you should know this is also correct. Whenever two elements are different in the domain, then codomain also will have a different image. So the definition is this, and one to one, each input has unique output. So is it a 1-1 function? Yes, it is a 1-1 function. Next, onto function. Onto function, what is the definition you studied previously? Huh? Every element in the codomain should have a pre-image. Every element in the codomain should have a pre-image. Is it an onto function? Is it an onto function? Every element in the codomain should have a pre-image. P does not have a pre-image, therefore it is not a onto function, but 1-1 function. So it is an example of a 1-1, but not onto. Not on. Now look at the definition. Every output has at least one input mapping to it. Another example. Is it a 1-1?
Yes.
No, one element should go to the one element. So here both elements are going to X. So this is not 1-1. Is it onto? Onto means what? Every element in the codomain should have a pre-image. Here all the elements have a pre-image. That means what? No element is left out in the codomain. No element is left out in the codomain. If some element is left out in the codomain, definitely that is not a onto function. So it is an example of onto but not onto. So onto but not 1-1. Here 1-1 but not onto. But not onto. Now look at the definition. Every output has at least one input mapping on. So now this is at least one. A have a image X, B also have a image X. So that's why they put at least one input mapping to it. At least one input mapping to it. Right. What is a bijective? Both 1-1 and onto. Both 1-1 and onto. Now give an example of both 1-1 onto. Both 1-1 onto. AB. A map to this. B map to this. Can you make it 1-1 onto? Can you make it 1-1 onto? Huh? Yes. That means what? That means what? We cannot make this elements as 1-1 and onto. Therefore, for the case of 1-1 and onto, the number of elements in A must be equal to number of elements in B. Otherwise, we cannot able to make 1-1 and onto. Therefore, if it is Z, we can make like this. This is also correct. Or this is also correct. One element is mapped onto one element in the codomain, and every element is have a pre-image. Therefore, it is both 1-1 and onto. 1-1 and onto. So therefore, what is application of 1-1 and onto? What is application of 1-1 onto? You never think before this. What is application of 1-1 onto? Number of elements in A and B are same. Therefore, whenever we want to prove number of elements in same in both the sets, what is our aim is to prove 1-1 and onto. Suppose number of fish in the tank, one tank, is equivalent to the number of fish in the other tank. What we want to prove? We want to prove 1-1 onto. number of population in city A is equal to the number of population in the city B, then what we had to prove? 1, 1 and onto. Therefore, the application of 1, 1 onto is very much wanted whenever the two sets are equal number. Equal number. Okay, I am saying that equal number, not equivalent. Right? Because 10 persons in the first class, students. Another 10 students in the another class. Are they 1, 1 onto? Yes, we can make 1, 1 onto. Why? Because number of strength in both the classes are equal. Suppose 10 students in the A section, 9 students in the B section, we cannot make 1, 1 onto function. Okay, that is application of 1, 1 onto. So, a function that is both 1, 1 and onto. Now, constant function. What is constant function? So, these are all you studied previously, but we need to study again so that we can go for any difficult problem. Constant function is what? So, this is 1, 1 onto. Okay, 1, 1 and onto. Constant function means A, B, C, here say X. All the elements are going to the one particular element. One particular element. Now here, the output is same for all inputs. Example, f of x equal to 5. F of 5 na here 5. About f of a in 5, f of b 5, f of c 5, and that example. So what is the output of a? 5. What is the output of b? 5. What is the output of c? 5. So it is a constant function. Constant function. Okay. Next, identity function. Identity function means what? So this is constant function and identity function. A, B, C. Here also A, B, C. So therefore it must be A. It must be A. So identity function means f of x equal to x. Here f of x equal to x. Here f of x is equal to 5. X equal to 5. Now what is f of a? F of a equal to a. What is f of b? F of b equal to b. F of c equal to c. Therefore, for identity function, both domain and codomain are same. Right? Both codomain and same. So next is polynomial function. Polynomial. What is polynomial? This is a definition of a polynomial we have been studying from 8th standard. A x power n, b x power n minus 1, etc. Next is c x power n minus 2, and finally it ends with a constant. What is the degree of the polynomial? N. Degree of the polynomial is n. And ABC are constants. ABC are constants. And x is the, what is x? It is a polynomial in x. If it is x in a, x will come. If it is y in a, y will come. So it is a polynomial in x of degree n. Of degree n. Okay. The next is trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions cos, sine, tan. Why other three is what? Other three are cosecant, secant, cot. It is reciprocal of this. It is enough to have sine and cos, because tan is also the division of 2. It is enough to have only trigonometric means sine and cos, not tan. Right? It is enough to have only these two, because what is tan? Tan is a reciprocal of sine by cos. Okay, so trigonometric functions. So these are the functions we are going to study in the problem. Next is summary. Summary, definition we all, and concepts also studied. And next is rectangular coordinates. Next is rectangular. So we finished one chapter called relations and functions, but we have never studied a problem. Okay, but I gave an example. That example will be more useful for the understanding the problem in the qualifier. Okay, now the next concept is rectangular coordinate system. So for rectangular coordinate system, in the rectangular coordinate system, we have a two axes x and y. Okay, This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Any point is represented as the two coordinates. X coordinate, suppose if it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this point is 3, 4. This is a x coordinate and 4 is a y coordinate. X coordinate we have a abscissa, y coordinate we have a ordinate. This is a special name for x coordinate and y coordinate. And look at this quadrant 1. This is the first quadrant. First quadrant both x and y are positive. Here x is negative. So this is second quadrant x negative, y positive. X negative, y positive. And third quadrant x negative, y negative. And fourth quadrant x positive, y negative. Okay, so next. Okay, next is slope of a line. So for a slope of a line, we need to define what is slope means. What is slope? Tell me what is slope? What general equation of a line is what? What is the general equation of a line? Huh? Y equal to mx plus c. Actually, general equation of a line is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. This is general form. Coefficient of x is multiplied by some constant. Coefficient of x multiplied by some constant and some constant equal to 0 represents the equation of a straight line. Example. Tell me something. 2x plus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. Right? It is a straight line. Can you draw the straight line? Make it 6. For simplicity, I am taking 6. Can you draw the straight line? For drawing the straight line, how many points we require? 2 points we require. Can you identify 2 points? You have to identify 2 points. Tell me how to draw this line. No. I want 2 points because if you know 2 points, we can draw the line. Right? So for drawing a line, we need 2 points. Can you identify 2 points? Yes. Put x is equal to 0, we will get y. Okay. So put x is equal to 0 in 1. 2 into 0 is 0. Appo 3y equal to minus 6. 3y plus 6 equal to 0, which implies y equal to minus. And what is the point? 0, minus 2. And put y equal to 0 in 1, 0. Appo 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. Appo x is equal to minus 6 by 2. That is minus 3. The point is minus 3, 0. Right? You can draw the line. Right? 0, minus 2, minus 3, 0. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. What is the point? 0, minus 2. 0, minus 2 is this. Correct? This 0, minus 2. Second point, minus 3, 0 is this. If you join these two, it is a straight. In a straight. 2x plus 3y is. Right? The general equation of a straight line is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Right? The next form. Number 2. So this is number 1. Y-intercept form, that is y equal to mx plus c. Y equal to mx plus c. There are different forms, 5 different forms, 6 different forms are there. And first form is general form, second one is y equal to mx plus c. What is m? What is m? What is m? What constant? What constant? M is a slope. M is a slope. What is C? Huh? What constant? Make it clear. Constant is correct. Make it clear. What is C? Y-intercept. Y-intercept. Now going back to the definition. What is slope? M is a slope. What is slope? Slanting line. The definition is, if a line making an angle theta with the x-axis, if a line making an angle theta with the x-axis, then tan theta is slope. Tan theta is where theta is measured in the positive direction. Theta is measured in the positive direction. Make it clear. What is slope now? It is a tan of an angle theta, where theta is a angle made by the line with the x-axis in the positive direction. In the positive direction. But don't say it is a constant. M is a constant. What constant? Slope. What is slope? It is a tan of an angle theta, where theta is the angle made by the line with the x-axis in the positive direction. Okay. Now look at this. What is the slope of this line? What is slope of this line? Huh? Hello. Tell me in terms of angle. Because tan theta, it is theta. Where is the theta here? Where is the theta here? Is it theta? No. It is the positive direction. So this is the angle. Is that theta? Is that theta? So tan theta is the slope. Then tan theta is the, we do not know what is theta, but we can find theta using the formula. If 2 points are given, how to find the slope? 2 points are given, m equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. We already studied in 10th standard. Now, what are the 2 points here? We know the 2 points. First point is this one, isn't it? So this is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. Right? Now, what is slope of this line? M equal to y2. What is y2? 0 minus y1 minus 2 by x2. x2 is 3 minus 3. x2 is minus 3 minus x2 minus x1 is 0. So what is answer? 2 by minus 3. 2 by minus 3. That is the slope. Therefore, tan theta equal to 2 by 3, which implies theta equal to tan inverse of 2 by minus 2 by minus 3. 2 by minus 3. So what is theta? Theta is the angle made by the line with the x-axis in the positive direction. In the positive direction. Because tan theta is negative now. Tan theta is negative now. What can you say about that angle? It obtuse angle or acute angle? Acute angle now, it is a less than 90 degree. Obtuse angle now, more than 90 degree. If tan theta is positive now, acute angle. If tan theta is negative now, obtuse angle. Therefore, this is obtuse angle more than 90 degree. Correct? More than? Can you tell me what is this angle? Acute. What is that? Tan inverse of 2 by 3. Tan inverse of 180 minus. So total angle is 180 degree. Total angle is 180 degree. 180 degree pi minus tan theta. Pi minus theta will give you this angle. How to find theta? Using the table value, we can find theta. We have sine table, cos table, tan table in the clocks table, or you can use a calculator to find the value. Okay. Now coming back to this. What is m? M is a slope. When 2 points are given, we can find the slope using the formula y2 minus yn by x2 minus x1. This you already studied in 10th standard. What is y? C. y-intercept. What is y-intercept? What is y-intercept? Tell me, what is y-intercept? What is y-intercept? Okay, now what is y-intercept of this? Is that a line? This is a line. What is y-intercept? Huh? -2. What is y-intercept? It is a distance from the origin to the point of intersection on the y-axis. So it is a distance from the origin to the point of intersection on the y-axis. On the y-axis. This x-intercept enna? What is x-intercept? -3. What is x-intercept? It is a distance from the origin to the point of intersection on the x-axis. In the x-axis. Okay. So what is y-intercept now? It is a distance from the origin to the point of intersection, the y-axis. X-intercept now, it is again a distance from the origin to the point of intersection on the x-axis. That is right. So second form is over. What is y? Y equal to mx plus c. M is a slope, and slope means it is a tan of the angle theta, where theta is the angle made by the line with the x-axis in the positive direction, and c is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means it is a distance from the origin to the point of intersection on the y-axis. Now third form. Third form is 1 point form. 1 point form. That is y equal to m into y minus y1 equal to m into x minus. 1 point and slope are given. 1 point and slope are given. Okay, 1 point and slope are given. The formula is y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. These are all concepts you studied in 10th standard itself. Fourth one, 2 point form. What is the 2 point form? Y minus y1 by equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Because m I am taking from this. M I am taking from this. M I am taking from this. So this is a 2 point form of a straight line. For that we require 2 points. Here we require 1 point and a slope. Here we require slope and y-intercept. Slope and y-intercept. Okay. Now another 2 forms are there. So we don't want to go in detail. Now, so x-intercept is this. This x-intercept is y-intercept. The last one is intercept form. Intercept form. X by a plus y by b equal to 1. What is a? A is x-intercept. B is y-intercept. Okay. Now what is answer for this one? What is the answer for this one? We know x-intercept as well as y-intercept. Now tell me the answer. X by, what is the x-intercept? -1 -3. You have to be very clear. Negative should be included. Right? Close the note. Plus y by, what is b? -2. Okay, -2 equal to 1. Are they same? Are they same? Because we draw this one. Now from this I am writing this. Are they same? Yes, it is same. Now what is the LCM? What is the LCM? 6. Okay. You make it here minus. You make it here minus. So this is minus 2x minus 3y equal to 1. For minus 2x minus 3y equal to 6. Therefore it is minus 2x minus 3y minus 6 equal to 0, or 2x plus 3y plus 6 equal to 0. So this must be same. Okay, both are same. Therefore, for an equation, you can either use a first form or a second form or a third form or a fourth form or a fifth final form. Or you should get the same answer. For all the form, you should get the same answer. So using this 5, we have studied all the concept based on the straight lines. Based on the straight lines. Okay. Based on any doubt in this? Right? So intercept form also very important. Now we can study the slope of y2 minus y1 and x1, x2 are 2 points on the line. And now come to here. What is the slope here getting? Positive or negative? Negative. Negative slope na obtuse angle. So if positive slope na, the line rise from left to right. Line left to right. Example this one. Example this one. Here negative means falls from right to left. It rises here, falls from left to right. Falls from, correct? By looking at the slope, the direction, we can tell whether the slope is positive or not. For that, I will give a simple example. What about this one? Positive slope or negative slope? Positive slope. Why? Because rising from left to right. Here, falls from left to right, and it is obtuse angle upon negative, right? So these are the concept there. And zero slope, is it possible to have a zero slope? Is it possible to have a zero slope? Apuna meaning? What is the meaning? Tan theta equal to 0. Tan theta equal to 0. So tan theta equal to 0 means, what is theta? What is theta? 0. Because tan 0 is 0. So theta 0 means what? No angle. Here, angle is here. No angle, na? It is horizontal. Here 30 degree, here 60 degree, 90 degree, 0 degree. 0 degree. When it will be horizontal? Theta is 0. When it will be vertical? 90. Why? What is tan 90? Tan 90 is infinity. Infinity means what? 1 by 0. So 1 by 0 it is vertical, it is vertical. Slope is 0 na horizontal, and slope is vertical na undefined slope. Why? Infinity. Infinity is undefined. Infinity is undefined. So these are very basic concepts you already studied, but you may have forget. That's why I revised. Next, when the two lines are parallel, when the two lines are perpendicular. And any doubt in this? So we have started from the general equation of a line, that is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. From this we can bring back to this form. From this we can bring back to this form, all the other forms. How to bring back to this form, tell me? You write it in the y equal to mx plus c form. How to write? Y equal to by equal to minus ax minus c, correct? And what is y? Minus a by x minus, so this is your m and this is your c. So therefore, whenever general equation of a line is given, we can bring back to the other four forms. So basic idea of a line is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. That means drawing a straight line, we require 2 points. We can identify the 2 points by making put x is equal to 0 or y equal to 0. And you might have heard, why we want to put x is equal to 0? You put x is equal to 1, you will get a y value. You put y equal to some other value, you will get some other value. So instead of putting 0, we can make any value for x and any value for y. So you will get one value for x, we will get one value for y. Similarly, one value for y we will get. Therefore, straight line is always 1 1 function. What is 1 1 function? One value of x is related to one value of y, isn't it? So therefore, when you have a straight line, immediately you can say it is a 1 1 function. 1 1 function. Okay. We cannot sure about onto, but 1 1 function we can say. Right. So I am relating this analytical geometry into the sets. 1 1. Well, set means 1 1 function, onto function also. So similarly, we can relate any calculus to the 1 1 onto function also. In the calculus, f dash of x is first derivative is positive na 1 1 function, increasing function. Negative na decreasing function. For 1 1 function, what can you say about f of x? F dash of x? Positive. Right? So therefore we can match this into other concepts. So we have matching analytical geometry into sets. Similarly, we can match sets into calculus, integration, etc. But if you have a strong background, we can match. If you have not a strong background, we cannot match. Right? Any doubt in this? Now next concept is when the two lines are parallel. Tan theta equal to you are asking a doubt. Tell me, tan theta equal to 0 by 0. What is your doubt? How to?
How will be the line?
How will be the line? Okay, good question. Sit down. Because mostly this type of questions definitely will arise when you become a teacher or when you teach. What is 1 by 0? Infinity. Right? What is 0 by 0? What is 0 by 0? 0 by 0 is an indeterminate form. Indeterminate form. That means what? We cannot find the value. So whenever 0 by 0 is there, we cannot tell anything about it. We cannot determine. We cannot, other indeterminate means determinate opposite is indeterminate. Therefore, tan theta cannot be 0 by 0 form. Something by 0 may be there for infinity. 0 by something may be there, 0 by 3, 0 by 2, but tan theta cannot be 0 by 0 because 0 by 0 is an indeterminate form. Indeterminate form means we cannot find. The other forms are other indeterminate forms are what? We have lot of indeterminate forms, not only 0 by 0. Tell me some more, because you already studied in calculus, limits plus 1 or plus 2 you studied. What is the other forms of indeterminate? Infinity by infinity. Infinity minus infinity. Infinity power 0, 0 power infinity, 0 power 0, idellame indeterminate form. Indeterminate meaning we cannot find the value. For example, infinity by infinity. Why it is called infinity by infinity? Why it is called indeterminate? Now what is infinity? Very big value. So I am making very big value, 1 followed by 10 zeros.
Infinity power 0 is 1.
Yes, infinity power 0 is 1. Infinity power 0 is not 1. Anything power 0 other than 0 and infinity is 1. That is, x power 0 is 1 if x is not equal to 0 or infinity. Okay, and we have a proof infinity power 0 and 0 power infinity is indeterminate. One example, infinity is a very big value. I make it 1 followed by 10 zeros. Infinity is another big value, 1 followed by 11 zeros. What is the answer? 1 by 10. Correct? 1 by 10. If I make 10 zeros, here 11 zeros, 1 by 10 or 0.1 or 0. Make it other way. If the numerator is 11 zeros and denominator is 10 zero, what will be the answer? 10. Are they equal? Likewise, we can give many examples. That's why it is indeterminate. So indeterminate means it will have lot of values. We cannot find. We cannot find. Similarly, infinity we can make 1 crore 1. This is 1 crore 1 minus 1 crore is 1. Suppose if you take this as 1 crore 1, you will get minus 1. You will get minus 1. Therefore, lot of values will come for infinity minus infinity. Similarly, for infinity by infinity. Similarly, infinity power 0, 0 by 0 will have infinite number of values. That's why it is what is called indeterminate. Okay. So, there is no question of having tan theta as 0 by 0. Okay. Doubt clear? Huh? Doubt clear? 0 power 0 is also actually what? Indeterminate form. Okay. We can make I put x power 0 equal to 1 when x is 0, x is not equal to 0 and x power 1. We have a proof, but it is irrespective of in our syllabus. Okay, make it known values is enough. Okay, if you want to have a proof, you can go through the net or you can go through any book. Okay, so the line is vertical. Now, when two lines are parallel, when two lines are ax plus by plus c equal to 0. What is this one? Straight line. Straight line. What is the second one? Straight line. Why? Because x is multiplied by a, some constant, plus y is multiplied by some constant, plus constant equal to 0 is a straight line. I have drawn the line also. So, here, when two lines are parallel, parallel means, correct? What about the slope of the first line? What is the slope of the first line? Theta. What is the slope of the second line? If this is theta, this is also theta. But tan theta is same for both the lines. Therefore, parallel. So, when two lines are parallel, when slopes are equal. When slopes are equal. Right? Here, what is the slope of the first line? What is the slope of the first line? A. For slope of first line, you write it in the form y equal to mx plus c. So, you have to write it y equal to mx plus c. Upon y equal to, this is minus ax minus c divided by b divided by b. What is m? Minus a by b. What is here? Y equal to, this is minus ax minus d here by b by b. So, are they same? Minus a by b minus a by. So, whenever the coefficient of x and coefficient of y are equal, then that is a parallel line. Parallel line. That is, two slopes are equal. Okay, next, when it will be perpendicular. So, parallel means here a by so slopes are equal. Slopes are equal. What slope? Slopes of 1 and 2 are equal. Slopes of 1 and 2 are equal. When it will be perpendicular? When it will be, two lines are perpendicular, here the slope is m1, say we call m1, here m2, here m1 equal to m2. Okay, so this is parallel. For perpendicular, m1 into m2 equal to minus 1. If the product of the two slopes are minus 1, then m1 and m2, that is first line and second line, are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other. We have a proof. You already studied in 10th or plus 1 or plus 2. So, we can make this one. M1 M2 equal to minus 1. The lines are perpendicular. When M1 equal to M2, the lines are parallel. Okay. Now, y-intercept we already studied, isn't it? Y-intercept form, 1-point form, 2-point form, intercept form. Okay, general equation ax plus by plus c equal to 0. General form also we studied. So, all the 5 forms we studied. Okay. Next is straight line fit. Straight line fit. The straight line fitting you studied in last chapter of our plus 2 using the least square principle. Least square principle. See, in data analysis, straight line fit is nothing but regression line used to approximate 10 set of values. The best fit for estimate is Finding the best fit line, least square method. Least square method you studied in +2. What is the least square method? Finding the actual value you know, approximate you know, the difference will be very, very minimum. That is a minimum of the difference of the errors, or you can say original value minus the actual value is minimum. Now that is least square principle. That is least square principle. So least square principle you already studied. Regressions you have not studied, but regression we will be studying in the BS course, that is degree course. Okay. Next. I will explain this concept whenever it is required. Okay, the minimum sum of the square difference between the actual and the predicted values is minimum. I will explain when it comes to the problem. Okay, and graphical method we already studied, drawing a line that best represents data points on a scatter point. So if you have 2 points, just plotting the points is enough. You will get a line. That line is also a best fit. So fit regression lines we will be studying in the degree course or BSc or BE, and minimize the least square principle you already studied. So least square principle I will give a assignment. Just tell me in the next class what is least square principle, right? Just to take the 12th standard book, and the 12th standard book the last chapter is actually least square principle is there, and tell me what is least square principle, I will explain. Next, slope measure summary over. Okay, so next quadratic function. So far we studied sets and functions and straight line. But now we are going for quadratic function. Quadratic means what? Degree 2. So degree 2 means what?
1.
Degree 2 example of a line a x square to 0. Is it a polynomial?
Yes.
Polynomial means here we can make it p of x is equal. Then it is a polynomial. Suppose I am putting equal to 0 na? It is a line. It is a equation. Putting equal to 0 na, ax square plus px plus c equal to 0 na? It is an equation. It is an equation. What equation? Is it a straight line? It is a straight line. Quadratic equation is what? Correct. Quadratic equation is correct. That means in the graphical representation, what will it be? Line you have a like this. Line you will have either this one or this one or this one. Line this is. Quadratic equation, if you draw a graph of a quadratic equation, how the graph will be? How the graph will be? We have a name. It is a parabola. It is a parabola. Parabola means again you studied this parabola. What is the equation of this parabola? Y square equal to 4ax, and this parabola y square equal to minus 4ax, and this parabola x square equal to 4ay, and this parabola x square equal to minus. Either open upward, open downward, right side, left side. This parabola you already studied in your +2 courses. Therefore, if you draw this one, you will either get this shape or this shape or this shape or this shape according to A is positive or A is negative. A is positive or A is negative. Okay. Now, a quadratic function is a polynomial function of degree 2 because ax square, bx plus c. Degree 1 na, what is the graph? Line. Degree 1 na, line. Degree 2 na, parabola. That means x square means this will cross this will cross x-axis 2 times. That's why x square. The x square term is coming la. Why? Because the x, it will cross the x-axis 2 times. It will cross the x-axis 2 times. How? Likewise. Likewise. 2 times. Cross the x-axis 2 times. Cross the x-axis 2 times. Therefore, it is very important. If I write an equation, you should imagine how it will be. That is, what is the graph will be, and what is the crossing the x points. What are the points crossing the y axis, etc. You should know. Okay. And quadratic equation you already studied in +1 and +2, because it is nothing but the parabola equation. So a, b, c are real numbers. A not equal to 0. If a is not equal to 0, what will happen if a equal to 0?
Line.
Yes, a equal to 0 means here we will get only bx plus c. Bx plus c is nothing but a line, correct? Bx plus c means what line? Can you tell me? It is a parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis, or it will intersect both axes. Can you able to understand my question? Suppose a is 0, then bx plus c equal to 0, correct? It is a line parallel to y-axis or parallel to x-axis, or it will cross both axes. Because x is equal to minus c by b. Minus c by b na. X is equal to 1 na, this is sorry, y equal, x is equal to 1. Then x is equal to 1, is 1, 2, right? X is equal to 1 na, this is. X is equal to 2 na, is x is equal to 1, is x is equal to 2. X is equal to minus b by na, so this is x is equal to minus c by b. So parallel to, that is a vertical line, parallel to y-axis. Therefore, when a equal to 0, it represents a straight line which is parallel to y-axis. That's why if a equal not equal to 0, otherwise it becomes a linear function. Linear function means what? Straight line. Now next, graph of a quadratic function. I already told you, a greater than 0 na, open upward, y 1. X square, right? X square minus 4ay equal to 0. What is the coefficient of x square? 1. Positive means a greater than 1 na, open upward. Negative na, open downward. And drawing the graph, you require just 4 or 5 points. You can draw the parabola. For line only we require how many points? 2 points. For drawing a parabola or any non-linear, linear means degree 1, non-linear means degree other than 1. Linear means degree 1, non-linear means it can be linear 2, 3, etc. or minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. That's why I told linear means degree 1, non-linear means degree other than 1. Other than 1 means sometimes it may be 0 also. Degree 0, suppose degree 0. Degree 0, that means what? Degree 0 means what? A 0, B 0. Upon C equal to 0, C equal to 0 does not represent anything. Therefore, it will not have a equation at all. That is meaningless. Okay, therefore, that's why I told linear means degree 1, non-linear means other than 1, except 0. Other than 1, except 0 will not come. Right, next is, this is over. Next parang, the vertex of the highest or lowest point of the parabola is this. So, have you observed this? Do you have any doubt in the parabola? Open upward, open downward, right, left. Because without understanding, you cannot able to understand this one. Take the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay. Take any example. 2x square plus 3x plus 5 equal to 0. Draw the curve. For drawing a curve, how many points we require? For drawing this curve, how many points we require? For straight line, we require 2 points is enough. For drawing this curve, how many points we require? Minimum 4 or 5 points we require, because the first point is this one. See here. Suppose any parabola, I am writing any parabola, so likewise. So we need this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. So at least we require 6 or 7 points we require. And this concept you already studied in 10th standard, how to draw the quadratic table. That means you make it now x, okay, and y. In the 10th standard you have studied, you call this as y, okay, you call this as y, and put x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 now, what will be y? X is equal to 0 means what will be y? Y means what? The answer. Okay. About 0, 0. So it is 5. Okay. What I am putting? X is equal to 0. I am putting 2 into 0, 3 into 0. So plus 5. Okay. Not 0. So 5. X is equal to 1 and 10. Okay. 2 plus 3, 10. 2 na? 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 6, 14, 19. Okay. And then minus 1. Minus 1 na? 2. Here minus 3, minus 1. Minus 1 plus 5, 4. Minus 2. Minus 2. Minus 2 to the 4 plus 4, 8. 8 minus 6, 2. 2 plus 5, 7. Now draw the figure. 0, 5. 0, 5. Maximum value 19. Maximum value for x is 2. For 1, 2. Here minus 1, minus 2. Here 19 we should go. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Here minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12, minus 14, minus 16, minus 18, and minus 20. Okay. 0, 5. So what is 0, 5? 0, 5 is here, correct? 0, 5 is here, correct? 0, 5. 1, 10. 1, 10 is here. 1, 2, 19. 2, 19 is here. Okay. And then minus 1, 4. Minus 1, 4 is here. This is 4. Minus 2, 7. Minus 2, 7. 7 will be here. So the parabola will be like this. Just to drawing freehand. So it will be like this. Okay. So for parabola, we require at least 5 points, because we need to find out the bend, that is turning point also. The turning point is called the vertex. The turning point is called the vertex. Okay. So what is a vertex? What is the vertex of the parabola? It is a turning point. Here it turns. This is a turn. So this is a vertex. This is a turn, vertex. Right? So turning point is called a vertex. Now what they are telling? Vertex is minus b by 2a and minus f1. What is the maximum value? See here, maximum value also minus b by 2a. The same. Therefore, what is minus b by 2a? Tell me. Minus b by 2a. What is here b? Minus b by 2a. Okay. I am finding the value for minus b by 2a. So minus, what is b? 3. What is a? 2. About 2 into 2, 4. So minus 3 by 4. Where minus 3 by 4 means minus 0.75. Where is minus 7.5? This is minus 0.7, minus 1. So almost here. Okay. This is 5.75. What is the y value? What is f of 0.75 minus? What is f of value? 2 into minus 0.7 the whole square plus 3 into minus 0.5 plus 5. Right? And what is the value? Here minus, so this will only minus 7.5, this is a turning point. This is the turning point. So turning point occurs here. In the explanation, they have not mentioned the graph. So that's why you have a problem. Once if you mention the graph, it will be very easy. Okay, so the minimum point or maximum point occurs at the vertex. Have you understood the concept? Minimum point, maximum point occurs at the vertex. If you have a doubt, it is mentioned. What is this? Parabola. Correct? What is the minimum value? Where is the minimum value? This is a maximum value getting reduced, and here minimum value, and again increases. So minimum value is here. Correct? This is the minimum value. Otherwise y is always getting maximum other than this. So what is the minimum value of this? Occurs at the vertex. Now come to here. Is it a parabola? Yes, it is a parabola. Now look at the values. Values are increasing. Here it reaches maximum. Again it is getting reduced. So what is the maximum value occurs at? Here it is the vertex. The vertex only will have either a maximum or a minimum. That's why the minimum or maximum of the function, yes, a greater than 0 parabola opens upward and the vertex is a minimum. Minimum na idu. Open upward na minimum. Open downward na maximum. Correct? Open upward na maximum. A less than 0 na maximum. I understood this point. Right? So if it is this one na minimum value, if it is this one na maximum value, and maximum value occurs only at the vertex, whether it is open upward or a open downward, and this point, vertex is this point, vertex is this point. Now this is minus 7.5, okay, minus 7.5, and this value is 0.75 the whole square. You will get positive only, and here also negative. Here you will get positive. Therefore this is x value and this y value is always positive. Y value is always positive. Therefore vertex, where is the vertex now? Apply this one. Where is the maximum or minimum now? If it is a greater than 0 na minimum, a less than 0 na maximum. Okay, so this completes your parabola concept. Okay, now slope of a quadratic function. Slope of a quadratic function. What is slope? What is slope? Slope means if a line making an angle theta with the x-axis in the positive direction, then tan theta is the slope. Okay. You studied in calculus dy by dx. Okay, derivative of x. What is dy by dx? What is dy by dx? It is a slope of what? It's not only slope. Slope of what? What line? Slope of what line? Slope of not y-axis. Slope of slope of the tangent. Slope of the tangent. Now I will make it clear. Well, have you understood this? If it is a parabola, vertex occurs only at the point minus b by 2a and f of minus b by 2a, and maximum or minimum occurs only at the vertex, whether it is positive or negative or a, that is coefficient of x square is positive or negative. Coefficient of x square is positive in a minimum, coefficient of x square is negative in a maximum. Now come back to this one. What is the question I asked? What is dy by dx? What is dy by dx? Tell me. Definition I am asking. What is dy by dx? It is a slope of the tangent. Why it is a slope of the tangent? Slope of the tangent is the correct answer. Why it is a slope of the tangent? What is the slope formula? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus. Is it in the form? Now it will be in the form. See here. Dy by dx equal to limit delta x tends to 0 f of x plus delta x minus f of x by f. Correct? Is that a definition of a derivative while introducing in the 11th standard? Correct? Now, in some other book, x will get cancelled. They will put delta x. Is the basic definition of the calculus. Now, this is nothing but your f of x now what? Y equal to f of x. Okay. Therefore, what is y1? F of x1. What is y2? F of x2. Now, this is your y2. This is your y1. This is your x1. X2. This is your x. So, it is nothing but y2 minus y1 by. So, what is this one? Slope formula. But I told you it is a slope of the tangent. Why it is a tangent? Because delta x tends to 0. Delta x tends to 0 means have a curve like this. Okay, curve y equal to f of x. And take the points f x comma y and take the point q as x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. Therefore, what is this one? X. And what is this one? Delta x. So it is x plus delta x. What is this distance? Y. What is this one? Y plus delta y. Therefore, this is delta y. Y delta y. Correct? Draw a tangent. Draw a tangent. Make it theta. Right? Look at this triangle. What is tan theta formula? Opposite by adjacent. What is opposite? This one. This is delta y. What is adjacent? Del x. Limit delta x to 0 na? It becomes delta x tends to 0 na? In the point delta x tends to 0 na? The point P coincides with Q. Point P coincide with Q, therefore we can find the neighboring point. We can find the neighboring point na dy by dx is exist. Dy by dx exists na, it is nothing but dy by dx. Therefore, what is dy by dx? It is the slope of the, I draw the tangent only, isn't it? Slope of the tangent. So what is dy by dx means? Slope of the tangent. Okay, slope of the tangent, not slope of a line. What line? It is not parallel to x axis, y axis. Tangent, slope of the tangent. Now, f of x is equal to ax square plus 2, bx plus c. Isn't it? What is f dash of x? 2a x square differentiation 2x plus b. What is the derivative of f of x? 2ax plus b. So 2ax plus b is the f dash of x. Other slope changes as x changes, and at the vertex now, which is vertex? The turning point. Right? This is a tangent and now what is the slope of the tangent? Well, இங்கே tangent some angle வரும். Angle 30 degree or 45 degree or 41 degree. இங்கே பண்ணா இங்கே tangent போட்டீங்கன்னா 10 degree ஆர். இங்கே tangent போட்டீங்கன்னா it is parallel to x axis. Parallel to x axis na theta. What is theta? Theta 0. Appo tan theta is 0. Tan 0 is 0. Therefore, at the vertex, what is the slope of the tangent? that is the slope is 0. At the vertex, slope is 0. So that's why at the vertex, the slope is 0. Yeah, that is a turning point. That is a turning point. Whether it is a maximum or minima. Here it is a maximum. Here it is a minimum. New turning point. This is the turning point. At the turning point, the dy by dx is always 0. How to find the turning points? How to find the turning points? Tell me. Critical points, turning points, stationary points, all are same. Critical points, turning points, stationary points. How to find the stationary points? How to find the critical point? Find the dy by dx. Find the f dash of x. That gives 0. That is nothing but that. So make it like this. This is your f of x and f dash of x, and f dash of x equal to 0 will give you 2ax plus b equal to 0, which implies x is equal to minus b by, that minus b by 2a is nothing but that 2 by x minus b. That's why we are getting minus 2 by b. About turning point, how to find the turning point? First equation will be there, differentiate one time and equal to 0, you will get the turning x point. F of that point will make you the exact point of that vertex, and at the vertex only you will have a maximum or minima for what? For a parabola. For a parabola. Now I ask a question. For a line, for a parabola, minimum, maximum exist. Where? Where? At the vertex. If it is a parabola, minimum, maximum definitely exist. Where? At the vertex. If it is a line, we'll have a maximum, we'll have a minimum. Why? Why? Now I will draw this. F of x equal to, this is a parabola. Okay, this is a for line, how will it be? Ax plus, correct? It is degree 2 for a parabola, degree 1 for a line. Now you find f dash of x. What is f dash of x? A. If you put f dash of x equal to 0, it is a equal to 0. Meaningless. A equal to 0 is meaningless. Therefore, we cannot have a maxima or a minima for a line, for a straight line. Now look at this one. A line is there. Okay. Line is this. Here increases, correct? Values increases. Value at infinity, you will have a maximum value. Similarly, value decreases. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. At minus infinity, this will have a minimum value. Therefore, there is no fixed value for a maxima or a minima of a straight line. Of a straight line. Why? Because there is no turning points. Because there is no turning point. But we can find the local maxima, absolute maxima. You already studied in +1. Now tell me, this is a straight line. Okay. I will have a simple example. If this line is 2x plus 3y equal to 5. Correct? Is it correct? Just I am writing 2x plus 3. So when you have to stop, is it? What type? Plus 3y equal to 5. Is it correct? Why? This line has a positive slope or negative slope? Positive slope, because it is rising from left to right. Acute angle na positive slope. Acute angle na positive slope. Obtuse angle na negative slope. So here slope is 3y equal to minus 2x plus 5. Therefore y equal to 3. So here you are getting a negative. Therefore this is wrong. This straight line is wrong. Suppose if it is minus, now it is correct. Correct? Because minus for here minus minus plus, here we will get minus. So positive slope. So 2x minus 3y equal to 5 may be the correct one of this one. What is the maximum value of a function from year 1 to 3? Okay. Here minus 1. Minus 1. Tell me the maximum value in the interval minus 1 to minus 2 to 2. Minus 2 to la, in the interval minus 2 to plus 2, what is the maximum value? Minus 2 la plus 2 la, what is the maximum value? 2 la தான் வரும், right? அப்போ 2 substitute பண்ணுங்க. 2 substitute பண்ணா it is 4, right? Minus 3y equal to 5. Therefore, y plus 4 minus 5 equal to 3y. So, therefore, it is minus 1 equal to 3y. So, y equal to minus 1 by 3. This is value 1 by 3. Right? And minimum value occurs at minus 2. Occurs at minus 2. Therefore, for a straight line, there is no critical value or there is no stationary points, no local points, but for the straight line you will have only a maximum minimum value for the absolute value, not for the critical values, not for the critical value. So this concept we already studied in our plus 2. Anyway, I have revised what are the things. Slope of this is over, this is over, this is over. And you are very familiar with solving the quadratic equation. I think you are very familiar with the 9th standard onwards. So here, how to solve this x square minus 5x plus 6? Product should be 6. Product should be 6 and x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So product should be 6. If you add, you will get 5. So it is 2 comma 3 minus 2 minus 3. So therefore it is x minus 2 into, so x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 3. Okay, so we can factorize the quadratic equation without help of a formula. Suppose we cannot write like, for example, this one, x square minus 5x plus 7 equal to 0. If your product is 7, if you add, you will get 7, never get 7. Therefore, what formula you have to use? The minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. That formula you have to use for finding the value. Okay, next is completing the square also you studied in either plus 1 or plus 2. So there are 3 methods. First, directly you can solve the product and sum. Second is using the formula, and third was completing the perfect square and then right. So these are the things we have studied. And then discriminant. For example, look at this value. What is the discriminant? This is for a. What is a? A equal to 1, b equal to minus 5, c equal to 6. What is discriminant? Delta is b square minus 4ac. What is b? Minus p the whole square. Minus 4 into a is 1, c is 6, and 25 minus 24, 1. If the discriminant is positive, then there are 2 values. Discriminant is positive, 2 real and distinct roots. Equal to 0 means only one value. Example, x square minus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. This is how many roots? How many roots? This is nothing but x minus 1 the whole square equal to 0. Correct? X square minus 2x plus 1. Therefore, x is equal to 1 twice. X is equal to 1. That means what? Repeated roots. Repeated 1 and 1. So what is discriminant here? What is a? A equal to 1. B equal to minus 2. C equal to 1. B square minus 4ac. What is b? Minus 2 the whole square. Minus 4 into a is 1. C is 1. C is 1. So answer 4 minus 4 0. So discriminant is 0 na. How many roots? Only one root instead of 2 roots. And less than 0 na? Less than 0 na? X square plus x plus 1 equal to 0. right? What is x? We cannot factorize. Only we have to use formula or completing the square. So I am using a formula. X is equal to minus b plus or minus root of, what is a? A1, B1, C1 minus b plus or minus b square minus 4 into a into c by 2 into 1. So minus b plus or minus 1 minus 4 by 2 minus 1 plus 3i root 3i divided by 2. So how many values? It is imaginary values. So less than 0 means no real roots. No real roots. No real roots. What is the meaning? If you draw this one, how to draw this one? Tell me how to draw this line. How to draw this figure, not line. How to draw this parabola? It is a parabola. How to draw this? By giving the values. By giving the values. Put 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 1, 2, 3, you will get point code. So x, y, 0 code 0, 0 na 6, 0 na 6, 1 na 1 na 2, 1 na 1, 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4 na minus 4 plus 2, 2 na 2, 4 minus 10, 4 minus 10 minus 4. If it is 2 na 0, you will get. Why? Because we already factorized. That means if you put 2, you should get 0. And 3 na? 3 now you should get 0. Okay. Minus 1 na? Minus 1. Minus 1 na 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 minus 5. 2. 7 minus 5. 2, correct? 2. Minus 2 na? 4. 4 plus 10. 4 plus 10. 20, right? 20. Draw this figure. 0, 6. 0, what is the maximum value? X1 minus 1, 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Y value 6 it is 20. About 6, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, 0, 6. 0, 6 is this. 0, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2 here. This is 5. 1, 2. 2, 0. 2, 0 is 3, 0. 3, 0 is minus 1, 2. Minus 1, 2. That is minus 2, 20. Minus 2, 20. So, figure every are there. You will get. This is parabola. 2 line 0, 3 line 0. Therefore, 2 intersecting points on the x-axis. 2 intersecting points on the x-axis. So, the graph. And come to this. This is the graph. Only one point. What is the point? 1. Now, x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1, 0. X is equal to 1, 0. So, it will be like this. If you draw this, what you will get? Whether you will get a figure or not. Here you are getting this figure, that is this graph. Here this graph. Okay. Here no figure, that is no graph. Definitely you will get a graph. What graph? It never intersects x-axis. It never. Here intersects 1. Here 2. It is intersects 2. Here never intersects. But you will get a graph. You will get a graph. So by looking at the graph, we can tell whether this quadratic equation has a root or not. Has a root or not. Right? So by looking at the graph, we can tell. Now I will draw one more figure. What is the root of this equation? What is the root of the equation? Root means what? It should cross the x-axis. Here it crosses one time, here it crosses two times, here it crosses 0. Is it crosses? No. So therefore, this equation will not have a root at all. Will not have a root at all. Whether if suppose if the point like for what is the root of this equation? No. It never crosses x-axis. How many roots? 4 roots. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 root means what is the degree of the polynomial? 4. So it will be x power 4 something a into x power 4 plus b into x cube plus c into x square plus d into x plus e equal to 0. So equation will be like this. Therefore, by looking at the graph, we can tell how many times it crosses x-axis. How many times it crosses x-axis is nothing but the degree of the polynomial. Here, the degree of the polynomial is 2, but it never crosses x-axis. That means it never have a root. Here, again the degree of the polynomial is 2, but it crosses only one time. Here, the degree of the degree of the equation is 2, but it crosses 2 times, 2 and 3. 2 and 3 here, 2 and 3. Therefore, how to find the root means by looking at the graph, whether it crosses x-axis, it will have a root. If it never crosses x-axis, no root. Don't confuse, it crosses y-axis. It crosses y-axis. Here, crossing y-axis is not at all a root. Crossing x-axis is a root. Right? This concept you have to be very clear, and quadratic functions are where we are using a quadratic function. Projectile. Projectile we studied in physics plus 2 physics. Suppose I am throwing a ball. The ball will be like in the parabola shape. So we have proved throwing a ball will make a parabola shape only. That's why, so parabola is used in the projection of a motion. Free falling objects. Free falling object means something of some fruit is coming down from the tree also will be parabola. We can argue if the fruit is very weight, it come down linearly. Linear means exactly down. But free falling will not be exactly down. Even you can throw a ball, you can able to understand. If you throw a ball like this, then it will be parabolized like this. Parabola will be like this. And second one, revenue and profit maximization. Those who studied business mathematics are very familiar in revenue and a profit. Revenue and a profit. I think you should go through this business mathematics also. So therefore it will be more clear. And engineering, designing bridges, parabolic antennas. For designing the bridge, you will have a parabola shape, right? And computer graphics, parabolic curves and animations. Curves and animation. Why we are studying this? Why you want to know linear, straight line, parabola? Why? For a doctor, is it required? For a doctor also it required. For a doctor, the parabola shape, our teeth is in the parabola shape. Our bone, parabola shape. Our hip, parabola shape, ellipse shape. So therefore it is very difficult to understand the concept of parabola, ellipse, suppose you have not studied. So for doctors also, we require to find out, we require to study parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, even any curve, including the straight lines. So even for those wanting very big doctors want to study the MBBS also, they have to study mathematics. So that's why 10th standard level all have to study mathematics. That's a requirement. But if you study +1 +2 mathematics, he can become a good doctor. So for parabolic shape, that is for orthopedic surgeon, for brain surgeon, we require mathematics, particularly ellipse, hyperbola, parabola, or any curve, right? And why we want to study? I'm not interested in medicine. We want to go for IIT. Then why are you teaching this parabola? Tell me, what is the answer? If you want to make a game software, ball is coming down, so you might have studied. So suppose if the bricks game you might have studied, bricks game la ball is going like, then it will exactly opposite. Then it will be like. Similarly, if it is in the parabola shape, again parabola shape also you should find out the curve. So we require parabola, not only ellipse, hyperbola, any degree we require. So that's why we are studying. Okay, and the summary is over. So polynomial, I think to 15 minutes more, I want to end this last one. So what are the chapters we covered? Sets and relations, functions, other set and relations function will come, quadratic, analytical geometry, and other polynomial. Next is polynomial. What are the addition? Polynomial is this one polynomial. Okay, and the addition of a polynomial. Is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial of degree 2. Polynomial of degree 2. So it is addition. Similarly, we have subtraction, multiplication. So is it a polynomial? Yes, polynomial of degree 1. Is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial of degree 1. How to multiply? Multiply, x into x square, x into this, and 2 into this. If you multiply, you will get a quadratic equation. So this concept is studied in 7th standard itself. So summing of the polynomial, subtraction, division, multiplication. Okay. Division also we studied. What is the degree of the polynomial numerator? 2. What is the degree of the denominator? 1. So what is the ultimate answer? Degree 1 or 2? Degree 2 divided by degree 1. Degree 1. Degree 2 divided by degree 1 is degree 1. Okay. So if you divide, you will get degree 1, correct? X power 1. Okay. These are all concepts we already studied. Graphs of a polynomial. Graphs of a polynomial are taught. Okay, just you can go through. And x minus whole power m. Here this graph is x minus 1 the whole square. X minus 1 the whole cube. Now what will be the, what is f of x equal to x cube? F of x equal to x cube. F of x equal to x square. F of x equal to x. This is graph. Now what is the graph of x equal to x? F of x equal to x is the graph. Straight line. We always call this as y. So y equal to x. So y equal to x means exactly 45 degree. Exactly 45 degree. Exactly 45. Yeah, tan 45 is 1. Exactly 45. We can draw very easily by making 0, 0, 1, 1. If you draw, you will get. Y equal to x square. What graph? Huh? Ellipse. Parabola. What parabola? Degree 2 parabola. X square equal to 4ay. X square equal to 4ay. So x square equal to 4ay, no, like this. Crosses x axis 2 times. Likewise, like 1 and 2. And x is equal to x, y equal to x cube, na? This is a very famous problem in +2. Y equal to x cube graph will be this is a graph of y equal to x cube. And what is the importance of y equal to x cube graph? Points of inflection. The points of inflection occurs at 0. Just by making points you can draw the graph. Nothing new. X, y. 0 pada 0. 1 pada 1. 2 pada x ku 0 na 0. X ku 1 na 1 cube. X ku 2 na 2 cube. 3 na 3 cube. 27. Minus 1. Minus 1. Minus 2. Minus 8. Minus 3. Graph 0, 0 in the point. 1, 1 in the point. 2, 8 in the point. 3, 27 in the point. Minus 1, 1 in the point. Minus 2, at this point. Minus 3, right? So you can very easily draw. First, whenever the function is given, try to understand what is the graph of the function. Once if you identify the graph of a function, you can tell me all. All means what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value, what is the points of inflection, whether it is a convex or a concave, all based on derivatives. All based on derivatives. So we can tell, and this is a special type, that is f of x equal to x cube is actually having a point of inflection at x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 because what is the definition of a point of inflection? Find out f dash of x equal to 0, putting x, and then if the f double dash, triple dash is not equal to 0, no point of inflection. We studied this. Anybody from commerce group? All from science group, commerce group. So I don't want to go in detail. So we'll leave it, right? So only for the science group, this one. If the roots are repeated, then the multiplicity. How many times it is repeated? M times. So that's why I gave an example. This is 1 time, this is 2 times, this is 3 times. Similarly, we have 4 times, etc. Generally, M times. Generally, M times. Now look at this. What are the roots? 2 repeated 2 times and minus 1 repeated 1 time. That's why 2 has a multiplicity 2 and minus 1 is repeated only 1 at the cross. So, nothing. X is equal to x cube, left down, minus 4, turning point. How to find the turning points? How to find the turning points? Find out the dy by dx. Find out dy by dx equal to 0, we will get the turning points. I think I have found out the turning points of both a line and a parabola. So how to find the turning points? Find dy by dx equal to 0, you will get a turning point. Okay. Why we require turning point? Why we require turning point? To find out the maximum value or a minimum value, we require a turning point. We require a turning point. So that's why the turning points are important. How to find the turning points? Find out the dy by dx. Okay, find the degree equal to 0. Identify the curve. So this is repeated. Okay, that's all. So I have covered all the 4 chapters. So only thing is left out is we have to see some problems related to the 4 chapters. And one thing is I left out because it is not there in the notes, but it will come in the problem. How to find the area of a triangle? When 3 points are given, half into base into height is when base into height are given. When 3 points are given, how to find the area of a triangle? x1, y1, x2, y2. What is the formula? Tell me the formula when 3 points are given. Area of a triangle. Area of the triangle ABC equal to y minus, or you can put like this, x1, y1, 1. You studied determinant. Have you studied determinant? Then if you expand, what will you get? x1 into x1 into y2, y2 minus y3 minus y1 into, or you can expand like this. இப்படி போடுங்க. This is also correct. x1, x2, z1. Okay. Whether this one or this one, any formula you can use. Expand the determinant, you will get the answer. Okay. So that requirement will come in some other problem, but it is not in the notes so far. So 6 more minutes is there. We will see one problem so that okay, now consider the following. Consider the following relations defined on the set of integers. Well, look at the problem. This type of problem will be asked in your examination, that is qualifier. R1 is a relation. X comma y is a point where xy belongs to the integers and modulus of x minus y is less than or equal to 3. Similarly, y2 means 3 divides x minus y. So these two are relations. Yes, R1 is a relation, R2 is a separate relation. Choose the correct options. R1 is reflexive and symmetric. Correct? Is R1 reflexive? Reflexive na? What is reflexive? A comma A belongs to the set. That is A comma A belongs to the relation. அப்போ A comma A என்ன வரும் இங்கே x comma x போடும். அப்போ x comma x na x minus x. X minus x என்ன 0. 0 is less than or equal to 3. Correct தானே? 0 is less than or equal to 3. Correct. Therefore reflexive. Reflexive. So first concept, that is first condition is satisfied. What is the second condition? Symmetry. அப்படிதானே? Symmetry means what? X comma y. Sir, we will stop at 12:30. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes. Symmetry means x comma y belongs to R. Then x comma y na, this is x comma y. Y comma x na same. Correct. So modulus of x minus y equal to, both are same, because if you take a modulus, if it is a negative, I will take the positive. Therefore, whenever x is modulus of x minus y is less than or equal to 3, implies modulus of y is also, therefore it is symmetry. But they are asking reflexive and symmetry, both are correct. So this option is correct. Second, R2. Now come to the R1. Is it transitive? Is it transitive? Transitive na meaning? X comma y belongs to R and y comma z belongs to R, then x comma z belongs to R. Okay. Now x minus y is less than or equal to 3 and y minus z is less than or equal to 3. So this is x comma y belongs to R and this is y comma z belongs to R. Then what we have to prove? X comma z less than or equal to 3. Then prove that. Okay. Then prove that. Correct? So we try to prove. What is x comma z? Can be written as x comma y plus, correct? Just adding and subtracting y, you will get. And this is modulus of x comma y plus less than or equal to, correct? What inequality I used? What inequality I have used here? Very famous inequality, you studied in +2. Complex number la you studied triangle inequality, right? See, we studied somewhere, but we are using it in functions. So that is the beauty of a mathematics. We studied somewhere, we will be using it in somewhere, but you should have a strong background, otherwise you cannot use it, right? So this inequality is a triangle inequality you studied in complex chapters, right? What is the completion we studied? Z1 minus Z1 plus Z2 is less than or equal to, correct? I am taking this one is Z and this one is Z2. So less than or equal to. Now what is this one? 3. 3. So what is the answer? But what we want to prove? 3. Is it transitive? No. Therefore, this relation is reflexive, symmetric, but not transitive. Now look at the second one. Xy, 3 divides x minus y. 3 divides x minus y. Is it reflexive? Reflexive means what? X minus x. Yes, x minus x is 0. 0 divides 3. 3 divides 0. Reflexive, correct. Next, symmetry. X minus y, y minus x.
Same.
Yes, same. Because if you give here x, I will make it 7. Okay. Y, I will make it 4. So what is x minus y? 7 minus 4. So it divides. Okay. 3 divides. If you reverse it, what will get? Extra minus only will get. So minus also divides. So it is symmetric. What about transitivity? Transitivity. If x divides y, y divides z, can you say that x divides z?
Yes.
Okay, if it is yes or no, we will have it in the next class. Okay, so these are the concepts we studied, and just one problem only we studied. That is one problem related to what? Sets and relations only. So this type of questions will be asking. Sometimes it may be easier or sometimes it may be tougher. It depends on your luck. Okay, anyway, we will be studying next class. So next class tomorrow.
Next class,
Inshallah. Okay. Oh,